Welcome to Highway Homestead. I'm Samuel, and this is Courtney. I know we kind of threw you guys right in the middle of it by starting these YouTube videos. Never really introduced ourselves, but anyway, I'm Samuel, like I said, and this is Courtney. So Courtney had the idea of doing a collaboration about starting a homestead from scratch. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Because we weren't filming 4 years ago, well, almost 4 years ago when we bought this property. So we just wanted to share our journey and what we've had to postpone or what we've had to do to get to the point where we're at, because everyone's story is different, and we just wanted to share ours and encourage other homesteaders, other homesteading YouTube channels to also share theirs.
Well, the roosters are crowing, gotta rise and shine. Daylight's a burning, ain't got a lot of time. When the day is over and the work's all done, we'll sing and dance and have a little fun.
So I guess our journey started back in 2015. I was laid off. We lived in Louisiana. I was laid off with the oil going down, oil prices going down. So we ended up moving back to East Tennessee. The company I worked for had a relocation package and brought us back. And we had lived in a subdivision for 3 years at that point. We both grew up on a farm with space, and we both knew that subdivision life was not for us. And if you live in a subdivision, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still homestead in a subdivision. We prefer space, and we like fences as neighbors.
Right, and great fencing makes great neighbors. That's also what we've learned living here. And you know, we lived in a subdivision, and by subdivision, you know, a lot of subdivisions in Tennessee, you know, you can get like an acre, 2 acres. No, not in Louisiana. We lived on a 1/4 acre lot, including what our house was on, which for some people is even bigger than what you have. And I'm not saying that you can't homestead on that level, because we had a satsuma tree, we had 2 blueberry bushes, we had 2 raised beds. We still did homesteading things. I still made our bread type thing on that. But for us, we knew that we wanted land no matter what it cost us.
Courtney found our current property on Zillow, I believe. While we were in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I was coming up here at the end of July, and it was actually the very first day that I went to work. After work, I came and looked at this piece of property.
Yeah, because we wanted it to be close to his work, and property in this area is not cheap. Acreage is not cheap, because we are conveniently located to Sevierville, Dollywood, all that. We're also conveniently located to Knoxville. We live in Knox County still, which is a big deal for schools, etc. And so it was expensive for us to buy in this area, because we bought a house that had to have a special loan to purchase and needed like everything done to it. It was completely original, 1960 basement rancher. You know, we got a great deal. So that was how we planned on doing that, and we didn't want a mortgage that was going to eat into our life and our
being able to homestead, being able to do renovations or go to Dollywood for the house that we bought. It's an old rancher style, built in 1960. It has asbestos siding or masonite siding. It did have a new roof, new tin or metal roof put on it.
The only thing that had been replaced on this whole house was the roof. That's what we got. We had an original single pane windows, no heating and air. The heating source was an old warm morning stove in the basement, so we could not do a conventional loan. They would not back that, so we had to do what is called a 203K loan. And basically we up front did some improvements before we ever bought the house. We were required to remove things like lead paint, etc. There was another old shed on this property that we were required to remove because it possibly had lead paint on it, and they also required like handrails on the back porch and like things like that.
Heating and air.
Heating and air, and we also contracted our windows into our mortgage as well.
I believe I started my first project was plumbing the house. We went from galvanized steel pipe
with orange water. Bathing my baby in orange water.
So then I updated it to PEX, which is still relatively new, but we are very pleased with it. It's very simple and easy to install. Once you make your, you buy your crimping tool. We also used a manifold style, so basically it works like a breaker box. If you have a leak in one of your appliances, then instead of shutting the whole house down, you shut off that water line, and we've used that a lot.
Well, especially because if you're renovating a little bit at a time like we're trying to do, just having to cut off the kitchen sink is better than cutting off both of my bathrooms. Or when we took out the one bathroom and put a new bathroom in, we could still use the other bathrooms while he was working on the new bathroom for 3 months. These are the bigger projects that we've done. We've done little stuff. Both the toilets have been replaced, sinks have been replaced, faucets have been replaced, light fixtures. We only have one original light fixture left in the entire house. I guess the next project was our room, which was sold to us.
Yes, we bought the house, and it came with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a bonus room. The bonus room was a carport add-on that they had eventually floored and made a room.
It enclosed it.
And when we bought the house, the entire structure was very sound, except for the bonus room. When you walked on it, it would shake a little bit. And, you know, my first thought was, oh, they just didn't use joist hangers, and
that was wrong.
I was wrong. That was definitely
That was wrong.
Needless to say, after a year,
months or a year ripping into stuff and finding no insulation, live termites,
mold, no joist hangers. It was rough cut lumber.
A 2x4 laying on its side.
Renting a jackhammer to tear up the slab underneath it.
Yeah.
Fixing the slab, or fixing the foundation. We tore out a sliding glass door and put in a wall for our bathroom. New siding on that.
You did the new siding on that, which we plan to do the entire house, but we're waiting to finish the rest of it because the kitchen, we're going to change some windows and doors, and you can't change windows and doors if you're going to do new siding. So. And
in the midst of that, we didn't want our kids to miss out and be like, Mommy and Daddy only work on the house all the time.
Right.
So we have a maple tree on our property.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the tree house.
That we, Courtney wanted us to build a tree house around. So, and then later on down the road, another sidebar, after Courtney had been hand washing dishes for almost 2 years.
It was over 2 years.
It was over 2 years.
2.5 years.
She had had enough, and I installed a new dishwasher. We didn't even have a dishwasher. I installed a dishwasher.
That's right. We didn't even have a dishwasher. So from the time we moved in the house, Madeline was 5 months old. Kale was 2.5-ish. I washed dishes until Madeline was 2.
At that point, we had bought chickens and
redone our chicken coop.
Redone the chicken coop.
We had to take the siding off it as well because it was part of the lead issue.
It had flaky paint.
Yeah.
So anything with flaky paint was considered lead paint since it was built before 1978.
Yeah.
So we removed the siding off of that and made it to a chicken coop.
Yeah, and so we ended up using that for our chickens. So we had bought chickens before Madeline had turned a year old. Yeah, so it was that spring, the first spring we lived here. I definitely wanted to get my chickens. I wanted to have eggs, and so that was, that's your, what is it they call it? The gateway into homesteading. Yeah. The gateway animal.
You hear gateway drugs, chickens are gateway animals. Because we now have goats, as most of y'all have seen.
And we do meat birds now.
And we do meat birds.
Hopefully we'll have pigs later this year.
Then we planted a garden, our first garden. We had it, the ground, we actually found somebody on Craigslist that would come out and
till our garden.
And they didn't till it, they came and plowed it. Yeah, and then I took a tiller, which we also bought off Craigslist.
That's right, we did.
And tilled all the ground. I didn't even have it disked, so that was a fun experience.
It's the same. Well, and why it was such a fun experience was because it was a forest before, so there were trees everywhere. And even the guy that came to plow was like, I don't think you should be planting here. And I was like, yeah, just plow it all up.
We don't plant there anymore because water runs right through there.
It was a bad idea. So at that point, during the spring and summer and stuff, we always try to do a bunch of stuff outside and work outside. And it's usually like gardening or like getting wood ready for the year or trees or raising our meat birds. But at that point, we had to focus on our
our house
the
renovations.
room, yeah.
We also found out that we were expecting, which kind of put a
that's
timeline
true,
on
with
it.
Katie Ann.
And
But
so
we were already working on it at that point.
Yeah,
that
but
was like a year before that we were jackhammering and stuff. We spent like 2 years on that room.
But it took a lot of money because, again, it's from scratch. As you can see from the pictures, it was a lot of work. It went from the rock room, as the kids called it, from the leftover concrete where I jackhammered it.
How many truckloads of rock did we take out?
And then it went from that to now it's our master suite.
We spent 3 months that one summer just hauling rock, I remember. So we have worked continuously hard on this place, and a lot of people have told us we've worked too hard on this place and blah blah blah, but we are hoping one day our equity will pay off.
And we've also had negative comments of, well, there's too many drain issues, or I don't know what you see in that place. But we're hoping that all of our hard work, all of our sweat equity will pay off. We are actually to a point now that kind of like it.
Yeah,
there's been times that I've threw my wallet at the house and just said, take it all. Other times you just want to burn it to the ground. I guess really last year we kind of slowed down on the homesteading. We still raised meat birds for the first time, but Courtney with a newborn and all that, the garden took the back burner. We didn't have as good of produce as we had in the
We didn't raise as many egg layers.
We fixed our drains with an excavator.
Which had to be done too. We've had, that was part of the house project too. Even though it was outside, it was still had something that had to be done. We knew it when we moved in. That tiling was rusting when we moved in. We already knew, and it just collapsed.
And we still have two more drain tiles to put in. So now we also installed a new wood stove, which is phenomenal.
But anyway, so we ended up doing that, and then this spring we've been working on the drain work and also the perimeter fencing, my first row of perimeter fencing it up. I've been begging for that for 4 years now.
We also forgot to mention that we got 2 goats gave to us at one point.
Oh yeah, Poppy and Pucho were there.
They were a Boer Nubian
Boer crosses. They weighed 200 pounds apiece,
and they were both polled.
What's important? What's left?
So
the barn.
The barn. We're built.
Getting the barn done.
Build the barn
for the kids and the goats and the hay storage for the wintertime.
Perimeter fencing.
Yes. Like
buck barn.
5 or 6 more. But the buck barn's going to be movable.
Also, forgot last year with our meat birds, we do everything ourselves. So I had to build a chicken tractor, which she hated. Whatever.
It was too heavy.
Neither here nor there.
It was too heavy.
I also built a homemade chicken plucker, and that took time.
That was great.
So anyway, perimeter fencing, barn, buck barn, pigs. Pigs. Tractor. If you want to stay involved, if you want to know what we're doing, the easiest and best way to do it would be subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, look up our Facebook. And we do have a website, but Facebook has some issues and we can't actually post it to our page for some reason. I've contacted them, but we've not gotten anywhere. But I'm sure if you did like a highwayhomestead.weebly search in Google, you'll find us on our website. We have some exciting things to come, and we know that we just like sharing it. We like educating and just showing you that you can do this. No matter what size, no matter if you live in an apartment, you could do a window box with herbs.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then cook with it, and it's great.
It's great. It's
so
I love my window planter tomatoes. If you have 500 acres, maybe you've never thought about silvopasturing or intentionally grazing your animals.
Yeah.
These are all things that you can learn to do.
We want to inspire you to plant anything, to get chickens, to have backyard chickens, to have your own eggs, just to be able to. Anybody can homestead, no matter where you're at. You can make your house a homestead. You can homestead from scratch, no matter where you're at, no matter what you have available to you or your resources. You can do something.
And that's the thing. So many people have I can't do this. I need to pay somebody to do this. You know, you can do more than you think. YouTube's a great tool. The internet is fantastic when you're looking to know how to do something. There have been so many things that we've never done before, but we never stopped and said we need to pay somebody for this. We looked up and like, well, how can we do this?
It's true.
And usually I get tools out of it. Thank you for listening and watching. We hope that you have found some piece of merit out of this to find encouragement that you can do it. You've got this. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun. It's going to have very fun moments, very rewarding moments. So just do it, y'all.
No matter what you can afford, no matter where you're placed in your part of the world, you can make that a homestead, no matter what you have given. This has been Highway Homesteads, a collaboration of homesteading from scratch. You can do it anywhere. Please check out the playlist below and just watch all the videos and the collaboration. We've got several channels lined up to collaborate with us, and I'm really excited to see what all they come out with, because it wasn't super specific. It was just your story, however your story planned out. So please check those out. Watch them, like them, subscribe them, and thanks for watching, y'all, and please subscribe.
We'll see you next time.